Today is Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, and it's a good day to join a cult. Welcome to Wizard Wednesday, channeling in from the Quantum Downs. This is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and joining me is...
the orange puppet with a headband, Dotta. And joining me...
Hey guys, can you guys hear me? I'm Budget Bear.
Budget Bear!
Budget Bear
And your boy Tad Major.
What
Hey,
up, y'all?
Tad, what's up?
Hey guys, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Bear's going to be here. He just, he's actually opening a door right now as we speak, and he said he'd be a few minutes late.
I imagine Bear is wandering the streets asking who's going to buy OPSC.
Right? Yeah.
I laughed so hard last night when I saw that. So I recently started DJing and it's like midnight or something, and I'm not paying attention to my phone. And I pick it up for a second. I scroll, and the first thing I see is that tweet. I'm just bust out laughing. Because I'm so accustomed. Bearsnake spells everything incorrectly, but that one was just it's without fail. We laugh at him all the time in Discord, and I tease him all the time. But that one was just next level.
It's just imagining him writing it on the board, looking at it, being like, "Yes, this is good. It's going to the Twitter." Hit post.
I just pinned it to the top. Everybody needs to know.
Oh man, he's not even here to defend himself.
Oh, that's all right. He loves it anyway.
Nobody wants to hear it, but I think OpenSea, man, why did you take away creator royalties? I feel like you just lost both the traders and the creators at that. I feel like if they had maintained it, all of the creators would have just stayed there. To me, I feel like that was their critical death move. But so, goodbye, OpenSea. We barely knew thee.
I hope they shit out a token first before they go.
I don't know if it mattered, but maybe, yeah. I guess we all get to reminisce over the buys and sells that earned it. So yeah, that's not a bad idea.
It's really if they're gonna bow out, just shit out a token, go out in just a glorious crash.
That's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, if you're listening to this, you owe us this. You owe us at least a token.
Exactly.
Magic Eden's gonna front run him on it though, so good luck.
Yeah,
fine. I can hold 2 tokens. Looks rare. Nobody uses looks rare anymore, right? Does anybody use looks rare?
No,
all the time.
What? You're kidding.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in checks notes 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of tokens, how about that Bitcoin?
Hey,
I had so much fun this morning. I couldn't even do work for 2 hours straight because I was just bull posting all day. Sorry to cut you off there, Dotta.
No, of course. I don't want to cut you off either. I was also the same thing where it's just I couldn't look away. I gotta say, I was even getting a little bit uncomfortable, right? I actually felt a bit relieved when it crashed back down from whatever. There's a candle that
right.
touches almost 64, right?
Yep. Yeah. Let me ask you guys: Are we seeing the early days of the Bitcoin super cycle, the legendary, the fabled Bitcoin super cycle? What do you think?
Oh man, I'll go for it, Dotta.
I think that okay, here's what I think. You're gonna get it earful. So you look at the ETF of gold, and gold was sort of up only after the first year of the ETF. And so maybe there's something similar there. But I don't know that we fully have decoupled from global liquidity. It's not clear to me that Bitcoin actually is going to fulfill its role as being this sort of inflation hedge that's decoupled from whether or not just simply if there's enough liquidity in the global markets, right? I feel like if you get a lot of tightening, it's still got to come back down because yeah, I just don't know that people are flying to Bitcoin to protect themselves from inflation right now. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Obviously, I don't know, but I'll say Bitcoin's advantage over gold is that it's deflationary. It's an asset that's hardening. and so it's superior to gold in that way. I mean, it really is the ultimate inflation hedge asset. Of course, getting a wider market to recognize that narrative is a different story, but um, I mean, it's the hardest asset in the world, so it should outperform, I would think.
There is the question of kind of like the security budget with like that this idea that ordinals fixes the security budget of Bitcoin is really interesting, right? Like the fact that you do have these decreasing rewards over time. There is this like natural question, which is like when they cut in April, when the supply cuts in half in April, like well, it's still just as expensive to pay for the electricity of your mining bill. And so, like, what does that mean, I suppose? But over the long term, but, now that we kind of have DeFi being built on Bitcoin, the amount of extra fees that miners have been able to make, like the surplus fees as a result of ordinals, has actually been really significant. So that's bullish Bitcoin, right? That was really one of the things people are saying in the last narrative, which is like,
Yeah.
Bitcoin can't do anything. It's too slow. The security budget will run out. I got to do Ethereum. But then now you're actually seeing Bitcoin reclaim a bit of that, even at slower block times.
That is super interesting. Yeah, I mean the Ethereum DeFi cycle really, I would say, sort of jump started the last bull run. But like a DeFi cycle on Bitcoin, that's super interesting, which would then potentially lead to a real NFT Bitcoin bull run. But yeah, I mean, if people are really going to start building on Bitcoin this cycle, that could be massive.
One of the things that's really interesting is, and you're even seeing ordinals. I wouldn't say like the people who've been building DeFi and Bitcoin would hate me to say this, but like I'm going to say, in a sense, ordinals are leading the way, though in another sense, they're actually standing on the shoulders of giants. But you see, basically, um, a lot of the Bitcoin tooling originally was like desktop apps, right? Because there was such a high prioritization on decentralization, and it was you run an app that connects to your own node. And what you've seen with the ETH UX is you have a browser extension, right? It was really this year with ordinals that everyone kind of installed a browser extension for Bitcoin. So now everyone's got Xverse, Unisat installed, or like the Magic Eden wallet, and now that you have that like familiar browser experience, then you see Magic Eden actually helping you craft these partially signed Bitcoin transactions in order to have like order books on Bitcoin. The experience on Magic Eden from an end user doesn't really feel that different from buying on OpenSea, honestly, other than just
Yeah,
maybe the block time is a little slower.
yeah, agreed.
Amazing
So
robot.
I've got a question for Dotta about Bitcoin. So I got into it when I first got my Bitcoin Forgotten Punk from Forgotten Ruins, but I didn't really know a lot about wallets, and I think I finally just got the Hero wallet, which is now called Leather. I've been
Mm.
hearing a lot of things about Xverse and different things. I want to be ready for the DeFi and stuff that's coming. Like, should I switch wallets now? Do you have one that you really prefer? Is there some functionality that we can get using some system versus another?
I don't really know. I don't know of any material difference between them. I'm sure there's nuanced differences. I haven't used Leather, but plenty of people do. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think Xverse is probably going to have the most compatibility. Just in general, I think more people just lean to Xverse as having more like mind share.
Yeah.
I find that because I use Leather, and I find that there's a lot of times I bump into like even like just for today signing up for the lights for the Alphabot ordinals, they only accept Xverse. There's no other Bitcoin wallet that they accept. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
like you bump into that.
When we did the shadows too, we implemented Xverse first. It was like the easiest. From a dev side, yeah, the dev experience for Xverse was easier, and so we just built that first. And we almost didn't even have Unisat for the shadows, and we didn't even support Leather. We said, and there was no like material reason for that. It was just like soft reasons. Like when it came time to sit down and write it, we were just like, well, Xverse is easiest. Most people have it.
And do these Bitcoin wallets work the same way with seeds like Ethereum? I mean, if I just input my seed for my Leather wallet into Xverse, will
No,
it cross
no.
over? I have to start over. Okay. I'm not
Yeah,
against it. I'm just curious.
because ordinals are somewhat of a, let's call it a hack on top of Bitcoin. The wallets have just these nuanced differences that if you put the seed in, You'll you run the one of the things to be careful with ordinals and Bitcoin is if you use the same seed and across different wallets, they might like send your sats that you didn't expect.
Oh yeah.
Like if
Well,
you
I
have a
don't want that.
ledger, for example, that you use for like securing your Bitcoins, and then you also have don't use that same ledger for your ordinals wallet. Like, so you can use Xverse with your ledger, but like it's really important that you just have a dedicated ledger device that's only for that, right? Like buy a second ledger if you don't have one already, and don't mix them, because with Bitcoin you actually pay your fees from Bitcoins, like from Sats, and your wallet could actually accidentally send a Sat that you have an ordinal inscribed on as a fee, and you don't want that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So if the loose balance that I had in the wallet got low enough, it would end up just spending the few ordinals that I have. It would use them as the fee when I
It
tried to
doesn't
mint a
even
new
have to
ordinal.
get low. It doesn't
Yeah.
even have to get low. It can just choose to do it at any time. So
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
would
good
say is,
Lord. So I need to
yeah.
stop minting out of any wallet that has my inscriptions or my ordinals in it.
Well, if you're just using the same wallet, like if you have Bitcoin in your Xverse wallet, right, and you can mint on that, fine. Like Xverse knows how to deal with its own ordinals, but I'm just saying I wouldn't take that seed and import it into Leather or Unisat or Sparrow or anything like that. Like I would just
Okay, I got
keep
that.
that
Okay,
in
that makes sense.
Xverse. And then what I would do is I would start a new, well, you're on Leather, so I would start a new Xverse wallet, and then I would transfer over any like Bitcoin that you want to keep using. You don't necessarily have to transfer your ordinals. It's not like Leather's a bad wallet. You can keep them there. It's usually pretty easy to have them both installed. And then but if you wanted to, you can transfer them over. It's fine.
Cool. That's what I
Yeah.
needed. Thank you.
Yeah. I actually tried it myself. I actually tried importing a Leather seed into Xverse, and it doesn't even pull up like the same like wallets. It doesn't even like smartly kind of look like if there's any Bitcoin balance and anything. It just brings up whatever. So they have like their own scheme for how they bring their wallet addresses. So it was just bringing up zero balances when I have balances on them. Not even ordinal, just actual Bitcoin balances. It wasn't even bringing them up. So
yeah, not to like bore everyone's ears off, but like there's a thing they call the HD path, which is how they generate the addresses, and that's right. They both use a different path.
yep.
You mentioned the lights. That's really, really fun. I'm ambiently aware of it. Does anybody want to like share a little bit more about? How much do you know about it? You signed up for the Alpha bot, is that right, Meadow?
Yeah, the alphabet. If it's open for 2 days, I think. If you have a shadow or you had one during the snapshot, which is like I think last week, you can go ahead and you can go into the alphabet. It's in their Discord channel, and on their Twitter. I'll probably pin it up here soon. But yeah, you can go into the alphabet and then sign up for your free claim. It's only open for 2 days. They said that if you don't claim it in those 2 days, there's no coming a week later and say, hey, I got a shadow, can I get my free light? So yeah, so if you have one, get it as soon as possible so that way you don't miss that deadline. All you have to do is just have to make sure that you I think like and retweet the tweet, and then also like sign up to their Discord and have the shadow roll in the main Forgotten Runes Discord, along with obviously having a shadow in your wallet. They're cross-referencing, so don't try anything fishy of switching the shadows in different wallets and such.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and they tweeted a GIF that says "Light versus shadow. Which side will you choose?" And there's a progress bar. I shared it in a tweet up top, and so yeah, it's fun. It seems like they're teasing there maybe a dynamic between the lights and the shadows, and so yeah, if you're a shadow holder, you better go register. I should probably tweet mentioning it. And maybe we do an announcement in the Shadows channel.
Yeah, Dotta, I would recommend hold off on tweeting because part of the registration process is retweeting it. So just do it then.
Oh, I guess I should register. That's a good point.
Yeah. When you register, you have to retweet and like that tweet. So you may as well do it then when you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And a few weeks ago, I speculated if you hold a shadow and a light in the same wallet, they will annihilate each other. The ordinal light creator, was pissed off when I said that. So so I'm just going to repeat that that scientific fact. No, but for real, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there something else coming with the ordinal lights? If you don't know, don't say. But I thought there might be something more even.
Yeah, there might be something more. I can't commit to what that team is going to do, but I've heard rumors, so it should be fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, claim your light.
Yeah, if you like ordinals, it's worth looking at.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, well, let me jump into some cult questions. One of them is, in fact, about the shadows. Maui is asking, would love to know if there will be updates on how shadows will play a role in the Forgotten Runes ecosystem. I mean, the ordinal lights is just one new thing that only shadows can participate in. The community is always building different things for different tokens, so I'm sure there will be more coming. As far as from the Magic Machine team, I think we've been discussing on how to potentially integrate them into the Runeverse game. No promises there yet. But what I can tell you is, and I've said this before, the shadows play a major role in the TV show scripts. They're obviously just some really meaningful characters that will have a huge role. I mean, they're connected to the quantum shadow. And the way I kind of think about the shadows is like, Star Wars has the Ewoks, which were just sort of like breakout characters. Despicable Me had the Minions, which they're more popular than the Despicable Me movies. And I feel like the Shadows really have the potential to sort of become that in the Forgotten Runes media ecosystem. They're just really fun characters. They're the only animated character in our whole ecosystem. And I can just see them playing a real huge role as far as the media franchise is concerned. But that's really all I can say about that.
Yeah, and I don't mind adding, which is just that like the shadows are Forgotten Runes tokens, and so like it's not like we're done with tokenomics or even things like airdrops for all of the collections, and so there's a lot in the works this week. I promised Elf that I wouldn't tease anything this week. There's a lot in the works. We're not going to talk about it. Let's move on.
You explicitly told me don't talk about future stuff, and then you did it.
I know. I said let's not tease anything this week, but then they're like, "What are you doing for the shadows?" And it's like, "Well, we'll tell you soon. We'll tell you soon."
All good. Okay, Ghost Effects is asking, do we live in a simulation? And he's not just typing this question. He's asking it through an image that he posted in the Secret Tower. So Ghost Effects, I'm not going to answer this because it's impossible to answer, but I think the real notable thing here is how you asked it. You are role-playing your wizard in an internet forum, as we all are in the Secret Tower, and you've given me yet another wizard, AI generated no less, to ask the question through, which is, do we live in a simulation? So all I'm going to say is, well played, sir. Okay, speaking of announcements, Dotta, Jay of the Sun is asking, when announcement?
Nope.
Nope is the answer, Jay. Sorry.
That's bait.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, Entropy is asking, I would love to know any info about Arbitrum Arcade or the Runeverse Vertical Slice. I think Entropy is asking just like basically when's the next like Runeverse like demo or whatever. Matto, you're here. You want to take that?
Yeah, very soon. I feel like we're like at the cusp of like releasing a date, so just kind of like give us a little time. But yeah, you can. I think you're also asking about the Arbitrum Arcade, because we did tweet that. That is going to be like an 8-week event. They're going to be like showcasing different games that are on Arbitrum, and there are ways for content creators to earn prizes. There's like 3 like it was like 3 custom gaming PCs that you can win, and then there's like a prize pool of like 200K or whatever. So if you're a content creator and you have previous content that you've created, I think it was like they have like a minimum of like 10 pieces of content you created prior to signing up. You can join in, and then you'll have access to a bunch of different Arbitrum games. We are part of it. But just so that we were clear, that like because that event starts like I think like next week. And the part of like our part of it is going to be like it's just like the vertical slice from like previous. It's like a kind of like a closed off standalone build that's mainly meant for content creation. But that being said, our next event, the event where you will be able to actually mint land, that will be announced very soon, and it is probably within that proximity. So,
yeah, there's also going to be a booth, I believe, at ETH Denver where I think you might be able to play there.
That actually happened. That was on last, I think, Saturday. Yeah, but however, we are actually at ETH Denver still, not from that booth, but on Friday there is a Shake Shack that's near ETH Denver. I'm gonna actually tweet that out like later today because we just finalized like everything for like an hour before this. But yeah, on Friday there will be a Shake Shack takeover. There's a couple of other people that will be there. You'll be able to play there as well. And there'll be some swag given out there. But like I said, it's not going to be the new build, so don't expect anything new. It's just going to be, if you didn't play it yet or you wanted to like get into, if you want to play it again, you'll be able to have a chance there at the Shake Shack. So I'll be tweeting that soon, so you can keep a look at our Twitter for more information.
I've been loving the artwork being shared by the Runeverse account. I shared some of the tweets up top, which is like there's a new one today where there's like some lighting effects and they look just so good. There's UI updates.
Yeah, that's just teasing out some of the stuff that devs have been working on, even if it's just like on the graphical side, like having those light beams for the cave to kind of like give it a lot more atmosphere. They've also been adding like a lot of critters, like animated critters going to the bushes and stuff. It's really cool. I'm really excited I've been looking to dev channel for stuff that I could share. But there's a lot of stuff they kind of want to keep a little bit under wraps. So like there's also like a lot of key arts that are coming out for like the new event. I tweeted a sketch of one of them just a few days ago where it's like 2 of the gnomes and they're like kind of building the red city. And it's just a sketch of it. I've actually seen like the actual completed version of it too, but we're waiting to show this off. And there's kind of great art. There's some wizards in them too that I think a lot of you will recognize. So fun time. Very excited. We have a lot coming up. Just wait a little bit more patient. I know we keep saying soon, but we're at the cusp of actually finalizing the dates. So.
And I've been talking to the Bisonic team like every day through the weekend. And I'm not going to tease anything. And they're a great team and they're doing a good job.
Don't stop.
I know. There was Igdul sent me a chart this week that I'm actually going to tweet about tomorrow, which shows like the player base of like the player base numbers of various like MMORPGs, right? And like one of the things that struck me was just like how massive they are. Like most Web3 games are counting their players in terms of like thousands, right? Hundreds of thousands or something is like a crazy success, like Pixels, for example. But like when you look at the MMORPGs, right, like the players that you have with like World of Warcraft had 130 million players. Old school RuneScape has like 41 million players. Like Baldur's Gate 3 had like 42 million players. Like the amount of players that we're talking about, like Elder Scrolls Online is like 22 million players. If you make an MMORPG that is fun, that has a rich economy, that has like good social structures between the players, the player base that you have there is just like completely unheard of in Web3. Like we are so early in terms of like getting this kind of mass adoption of a player base. And the Runeverse game has been built from the ground up to be a game that is fun, right? It's being inspired by all these games, like to build the sort of like RuneScape based on crypto that we like all love to play with like the economic freedom that we expect. And so it just this week is just such an important reminder of like just how early we are in this cycle of adoption of crypto, especially in gaming. And so man, I just feel so optimistic about kind of the number of players that are going to be in this game and how it's going to grow.
We only need 41 million. I think that's doable.
Perfect. Yeah.
Matto, I got to come back just real quick to something you said. Wizards are taking over Shake Shack, as in the burger place?
Yeah, Shake Shack, the burger place. Yeah, I will. Like I said, I'll actually tweet out like after this Wednesday. I'm probably going to tweet it out from the main account because, like I said, it was like maybe like a little bit before we finalized everything. But yeah,
Okay.
there's a Shake Shack near East Denver, and with that, and like they'll have like the actual like location information in the tweet. But with that, you'll be able to go there and play, and then grab a bite, grab some swag. Just please don't play on the keyboard with greasy hands. That's the only thing we
I was only a little bit jealous that Bear is going to East Denver, but now I'm super jealous. Shake Shack is my favorite.
There's
Okay,
a cult question from Juan.
Yeah, go for it.
So Juan Snow asked, any updated info regarding the new Magic Eden Royalties Marketplace and if any of the Forgotten Runes assets will be implemented? There's no new info there. I think that like early on, how do I put this? Early on, we were like, let's say, negotiating to be a part of the like Genesis collections that moved over and part of the like bigger narrative there. I think that like I guess I would say that like I just am a bit more like cautious about this idea that we might upgrade our contracts and enforce royalties. I do think that like I see a world where, for example, we eventually want to upgrade the assets into a new contract that has more flexibility, that maybe has, for example, um, like multi-chain portability, right? Maybe that's layer 0 or something else that gets invented. You can see this scenario happening where Ethereum becomes the global settlement layer and just frankly becomes too expensive for kind of the day-to-day transactions that you would expect to be able to like use your NFT, like to transfer your NFTs for one, but even then just to like use them on chain, right? We're literally already facing this with, for example, the Warrior event, which we've talked about, which is going to involve Athenaeum items, where like, let's say that you make a transaction that involves like multiple tokens of like Warriors and Athenaeum items. Already like people are saying like, man, can you move that to Arbitrum because it's too expensive? And so like right out of the gate, there's this question around like, what does that mean to kind of like never change, where everything we ever do on chain for Wizards has to be like exactly on ETH1 without any kind of interchain guarantees. So for me, there's like a utility aspect. The other aspect is just around royalties. It's no secret that like I really chafe under the conflict between the paradox of like a decentralized bear asset and having complete economic freedom over ownership of an asset, and then the operator filters where you're effectively like blocking marketplaces, like forcing people to pay royalties. Look, I don't like that more than anyone else, and so I don't like it ideologically. I think that like in my I think that there might be a business case for it where it does create the proper incentives, whatever. We've been over this 100 times. It creates the proper incentives versus inflation. So I will never say never, but I would also say I'm not rushing into it at all. So for example, well, I don't mind sharing this because it's all on chain, right? Like there was a set of projects that were asked, for example, to like at least symbolically show solidarity with Magic Eden and update their operator filter on chain, even if they don't update their smart contracts by the time of the announcement that went out. Was that today or yesterday? I forget which day it was. Right, there was like, hey, make sure you at least symbolically like on chain sign that you're like saying that you filter out OpenSea and Blur. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm just like I'm not ready to do it yet. So there's no timeline there. I think that like I also don't see that like upgrading our contract in this second when our volume is like so low in the first place, it's not going to make any difference to the bottom line. It would also be expensive for our community. So I think that like everyone should be prepared that like if we reach a moment of strength as a community where we feel that like um if we have a moment of strength where we feel like it's not going to be incredibly detrimental, like right now it feels like it would be too much for the community to bear. I think when we get a bit stronger as things progress this year, I'm going to be a lot more open to doing doing an upgrade, but even if we upgrade, that doesn't mean we're automatically enforcing an operator filter, if that makes sense. So I would say like be ready for it, but I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah, I don't want to have the whole royalty debate right now, but I think the first part of what you said is really interesting, which is the utility component. I mean, what we're doing is essentially software, and what software company in history has never once updated their software? It's unheard of. It's ludicrous. And there are digital assets out there like Bitcoin, like maybe CryptoPunks, where their primary value prop is their provenance, their immutability, their never changingness. I don't know that that's Forgotten Runes' biggest value prop. In fact, I'm going to say it's not. Some people might think that's an atomic bomb that I just dropped, but I just don't think it is. And if we're going to grow this into this multi-layered, multi-utility thing, then yeah, maybe an upgradable contract really makes sense in the future. Not even talking about royalties, just pure functionality. So that's my take.
Yeah, and Once No brought up another point, which was just wait, just wait and see how the market reacts to to other projects upgrading. I was talking to the team yesterday or whatever, and I was like, I've been sitting here saying, over and over, like, well, we're going to see OpenSea versus Blur play out between the collections, right? And so what you see is that the mercenary liquidity, like, yes, apes are blue chip now, but what if another collection is the holdout, right? Like, for example, word on the street, I didn't have privileged information. Word on the street was that like DGods wasn't going to like enforce operator filters and move to Magic Eden. And it was like, so what if DGods doesn't do it? Then they're going to be able to flip apes because they're like this blue chip that like, that doesn't charge royalty. So all the liquidity flows there. But then turns out like once the trailer dropped yesterday, sorry, my days are mixed up. DGods was like on the trailer. Right. And so I was like, well, man, if all of these other blue chips are actually forcing on royalty, I keep talking about how like the collection that doesn't enforce royalty is actually going to have this sort of like mercenary advantage like Blur. And I was like, wait, what if we're just that collection? Like, what if we're the mercenary collection that holds out and doesn't upgrade to enforce royalties? Like, like what are the dynamics of that? So I think like let's wait and see. Or maybe the market doesn't care. They're just like, no, apes are apes, and it doesn't matter if you have a good brand. And so, I think if we see that response, then we're going to be like, okay, great. Like the market doesn't care, and having recurring revenue for the company based on trading volume is a good idea because people who hold and build lore over a long period of time don't pay a royalty anyway because they're holding, right? So you're actually making revenue on speculators. So, yeah.
Okay, Nico2626 is asking, is there any lore regarding the Watchers and their purpose in the world? So for those of you who don't know, the Watchers are a Runeverse MMORPG creation. The team at Bisonic created the Watchers. Matto, do you want to talk about the Watchers? I'm not sure if there's much to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually going to answer this question when I saw it in Discord. But yeah, the Watchers definitely have more of a story arc that's coming to them. They're actually going to like play kind of like roles throughout, like as we lead up into like the actual like full release of the game. So they were actually brought in. Like right now, their role is they're essentially the Runeverse is forgotten. That's part of like the lore reason for it ties into the lore for like pretty much why there's only like so many portions of the map that you can actually visit. So we're tying it, like obviously there's a mechanical reason of it that it's not developed yet, right? But like we thought that it was fun to tie some lore to it and be like, well, the Runeverse has forgotten itself, and like there's this force that's coming in called the Absence that's kind of engulfed the Runeverse, and the Watchers are trying to push that force back. And then part of pushing that force back is the Watchers are summoning the wizards back into the world. So the wizards, the world was without magic for a while. And Watchers they have their place. They still practice magic, and they're bringing the wizards back. And they're going to have kind of like this role of like helping restructure the Runeverse and helping push that Absence back with the power of the wizards too. So there's definitely more that's going to drop on them. We dropped that like those teasers. Maybe I'll that's actually a good reminder because maybe a lot of people don't really know about that because we tweeted it kind of like early into the event, and I think it kind of like got pushed aside as like people had fun with the event and started tweeting about the game. But yeah, we did tweet a little bit of story arc from the Watchers, bringing them in, and Alberto talked about them a little bit too. So we'll definitely be bringing them more into the story, and you'll hear more about them. So
speaking of Watchers, look what the cat drug in.
What up, Watchers?
That made no sense. Bear,
Hey.
Yeah, that was a terrible little pivot, but it's not as bad as me misspelling OpenSea and tweeting it.
Well, Bear, speaking of, I hope you see what's pinned to the top of the space.
Oh, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. What's
Bear,
up, boys and girls?
Did you ever figure out who's going to buy OPSE? Is that what you're doing, Bear?
Did you know I'm gonna host a spelling bee at my house, like an adult spelling bee. We'll have like a party.
I'm not coming, apparently.
No, but here's
You'll
the
be
thing:
the judge.
like, if you get a word wrong, you can either choose to be out or you can take a shot.
That's fun.
Oh, I'm so there.
I'm getting drunk, like guaranteed. No, I'm actually officially resigning from Magic Machine, and I'm starting a company called OPC.
And we'll buy you for $5 and bring you right back in.
Yeah, you better launch a token.
Oh yeah, OPC token. I just got off a pretty cool call, but can't talk about it. Hi guys, everybody good? We having fun?
Hi. Yeah, we're good.
How's dinner?
I'm not there yet. I hit the ground tomorrow morning.
Oh, well, what the hell? Okay. I thought that was your excuse because you were like flying to Denver, but no, you're doing other stuff.
No, I do not bring my dry erase board on the plane.
Okay.
No, I land tomorrow. I'm so excited. Going to see a lot of our friends. And yeah, lots going on. I'll be tweeting all sorts of misspelled tweets throughout the weekend.
Amazing.
Okay, let's see. Jitsi, do you want to talk about the Nifty Island thing, or do you want to save it to next week?
It's a really good question. Well, let's save it for next week just because we were supposed to pair something with it. But we can say this, which is it's done. The map is done. More info soon. But I was hoping we get it out today, but things didn't line up. That's fine. But we now have a Forgotten Runes map in Nifty Island. It's all done. So more info soon.
On Nifty Island, I did see they did some palm drops to some of the more active members. I think we had a couple of wizards that got some, and they're like fairly high valued. I feel like they're almost 3 ETH like floor right now. So that was super cool. I think Entropy and maybe J-Mander. Hopefully, I'm not outing anybody, but I think just being active and hanging out and playing as your wizard got them a super drop. So that's pretty cool.
That is sick. Yeah, I saw Entropy got one. I wouldn't be surprised if J-Mander got one as well. That's great. Cool. Okay. Yeah, speaking of lore, just coming back to that for a second, I just wanted to tell the community what I've been working on the past 2 weeks-ish, and what I'm going to continue working on now that I have a lot of my art lift done. So there's been like a big call in the community for just more lore from Magic Machine, more quote canon lore. And we talked about this a little bit last week, but yeah, Bill Gaines shared that awesome Critters Cult website with us, and I didn't even know that existed, and so I want to do our version of that. And so I've been working on just a big sort of meta lore website. And it's going to answer all the just core questions about the Runeverse, things like the Ouroboros and the Gate to the Seventh Realm and magic systems and what the Wizards and Warriors are and timelines and all that stuff. Basically, all the questions I get in Wizard Wednesday. And I've almost got the rough draft done. And then Dota's going to help me make it all pretty, I hope. And what's really cool is then we can push it through the Loracle, and it'll just give the Loracle just even a more solid foundation to give lore with. But you know, it's funny because like as I'm working on it, I keep thinking about this word canon. And I was even on a space today with a bunch of other NFT projects who are making comics and doing lore, and we talked about canon there. And you know, just the more I work on it, the more I don't think that canon actually exists, and I mean anywhere. It doesn't exist in Lord of the Rings. It doesn't exist in Star Wars. Not in Game of Thrones. Not in Batman. Not in really any IP out there. You know, Game of Thrones, the TV show is different from the novels. The same for Lord of the Rings. I mean, even in Tolkien's own works, there are continuity errors. You know, Batman's origin story has been retold like 5 different times in films and about 1,000 different times in comics. And you know, there's no origin story where the details are the same. Greek mythology has no canon. Even real world history, historians argue endlessly about official narratives, and you know, even news that happened yesterday, it's difficult to verify. So, you know, I don't even know that there is a such thing as canon anywhere. And so when I look at this, I just think maybe when you're starting the process of world building, you take this, you know, it might be interesting to take this postmodern approach where you just ignore any pretense of canonical truth, and then you just embrace a meta modern approach where you acknowledge this and then you have fun building anyway. And so for the Forgotten Runes origin in quotes, you know, you're going to see in the comic and in the show and on this website and from community members, you're going to see variations on these details of the so-called origin. And I say that's awesome. I say embrace it, because really that's the truth. And I think like the so-called ultimate truth of what the Forgotten Runes origin is going to be, um, it's going to occur in real life in the next like 20 years when the literal singularity occurs. That is Forgotten Rune's origin story. It's literally in the future, in the real world. And I'm not a codomancer, so I can't tell you exactly what the details will be. But let's all just have fun in the meantime, just guessing and building. Because, you know, really what I'm most interested in making Forgotten Runes is making it as real as possible, to the point that we don't know where meat space and meta space begins and ends. This blurring of spaces to create a hyper reality is a real phenomenon that we are all going to experience in the future. In fact, we're basically experiencing it right now. um, I think this is really going to be a defining feature of the 21st century. All great art commentary is, or all great art is a commentary of the time in which it was created. And this is exactly what Forgotten Runes is doing. Your wizard is you. You're role playing your wizard every day on Twitter and Discord. The Runeverse is the universe. And you know, we're blurring the line between these two things by role playing and living. You know, it's the classic: does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? Um, and so, you know, everything I'm saying right now is literally part of the meta lore. And I know a lot of you, when you hear me talk like this, you think, "Damn it, Elf, stop being so meta. I just want specific stories and specific characters and specific quests." Um, well, good news. In addition to this Metalore website that I'm writing, um, we will have, which will definitely have more specific information. We've also got 4 issues of the comic out or available to order. We've commissioned Dr. Solo Pop, 6 films, which he and I are both breaking stories. I've got Riley drawing some more storyboards for Twitter that are totally just character-driven stories. And by the way, on that, if you guys know any storyboard artists, we're looking for some. Augustin, the original storyboard artist that we used to do the boards with, he is super busy. He's up to his ears in work, and honestly, Riley is too, because his real job is drawing our comic, and now we're putting these like Twitter storyboards on him. It's too much for the guy. So if you guys know any more storyboard artists, please send them my way. So all this is to say is we've got a lot more storytelling coming in various forms. And it's been my primary job over the last few weeks.
I've heard there's been leaks of the first version, not leaks, but like internally we've been passing around some versions of the new Solo Pop film, and so that's exciting. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things.
It's so good. I showed it to Bear, and I was like, I can't tell if Solo Pop is getting better or the tools are getting better, and it's probably both. But it looks so good.
The stills are insane. I clicked through. I just started going through them, and I don't even know what to say anymore. When he like delivers the next video, holy smokes, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and like he said one of his biggest challenges was getting a real recurring character, which kind of hinders the kind of storytelling you want to tell. But honestly, from what I've seen so far, it's not bad. Like I think it's good enough to know who you're looking at. But yeah, Acid Eater, hello.
Yeah,
maybe
sorry,
not.
Acid, can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, Acid, feel free to unmute and chat, and but it seems like you're muted right now.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on a 10-second delay with the one that Bill was listening to. So can you guys hear me? Am I okay?
Yeah, hey.
Yep, we got you.
Great, okay. I have DAO announcements. Is now a good time for them?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I'll just go through the minutes again, and then I have a few little extra things to say, I guess. The first thing on the minutes is the Magic Machine reimbursement. That has been pretty much figured out. We're still working with the legal team. There was we ran into a little issue, but we seem to have been able to restructure the agreement to make it so that we can get it going through. And they're trying to talk to the legal team about the service agreement that's already been signed so that we can continue getting any help from Magic Machine that we may need in the future. But we're still waiting on an update for that from legal. The next thing was proposals. The voting is live right now. If you haven't seen, the current vote was supposed to start on the 25th, but we ran into issues with permissions and had to launch a day later. But we fixed those issues, and all of the signers, or at least I think it was the legacy signers, I'm not entirely sure, but more people have permission now, so we can be a little more streamlined, a little more on top of getting everything done on time and everything like that. And so yeah, the voting is live until March 4th. Oh no, yes. Sorry, I'm not looking at my calendar right now. Yes, it ends on March 4th. So it's live right now. If you're a token holder, we, the council, or at least me and Reptar and I think Sharon and maybe Matto, are doing a little spaces tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to talk to the authors of the proposals that are up for vote right now, and then Urshan should also be there to talk about the proposal that they put that would be up for voting next month, next round, if they decide to submit for that. So we'll have a little conversation there. If anyone has any other questions to ask authors before they vote, if they're not sure how to vote and want to hear more about what the authors have to say, that's kind of the intention behind all of that while we're in the midst of voting. Yeah, the spaces. Last thing was the survey results. The survey is still open, I guess, for another day. We left it open for all of February, and we've gotten a decent amount of feedback. I'm at least happy with the results we've gotten and have been able to compile and everything. I really appreciate everyone putting in their details, what they wanted to see, what they think we are doing, what our mission is, and then the last part of the survey was focused on our personal values, because I've seen a lot of conversation in the Discord. At least there was a lot last year around what are we voting for, how are we voting, why are we proposing things, what are we proposing for, what is the DAO what kind of are our collective communal values. So I got some data based on the questions I asked and kind of put together a little values statement that I will share with the community and see what everyone thinks, see if it's something that people want to engage with or whatever, if we want to put it somewhere and talk about it more.
That sounds interesting. I can't wait to look at that.
Yeah, it's I think it sums up things pretty well, but it also feels a little like not specific, not magic enough for Forgotten Runes.
Okay.
So I want to put a little more magic in it. But then the takeaways about what we should do, I want to get more organized, more like actionable things of what we can actually do to move forward. Because we got a bunch of results and a bunch of people have a bunch of ideas, but what's like some core thing that we can really move forward with? So that's what I'm focused on with that. And then the last thing was I made like a little calendar to keep track of all of the upcoming things. I haven't like confirmed anything with the council. I just made this today. So like none of the dates I put on here are like set in stone permanently forever. But I think the community would benefit from just a little visual of upcoming stuff, upcoming spaces. I want to do more spaces. I'm sure that other people on the council want to do a little more communicating because that was a big thing that the community wants. So we're doing the one tomorrow, and then I have other ones planned like throughout the whole like proposal process that lasts pretty much a whole month. We would have like 2 or 3 spaces within that time to talk to people publicly and get questions, because the DAO channel gets a little once there's so much conversation, it's hard to keep up with what is really going on with the proposal. And so then if we can get updated in a little vocal way, that would be a little better. And that is it, unless anyone has any questions about the DAO.
Yeah, so the key point is that there's 2 proposals that are in that look really, really good. One is the tabletop board game that Brennan has been working on, as you mentioned, and then the other is like a D&D campaign. So yeah, head over. I pinned a tweet that has a screenshot of one of the board games, and there's a link there to the snapshot. So yeah, fire up your wallet and give a vote for which way you think that should go.
Okay, Acid, thank you so much. Tad, what else is going on in the community these days?
Let's see. There's a couple of things going on. While I get started, we should invite up Wizard Smalls. He's in the crowd, or if you're out there, request to come up on stage. That was the newest thing that happened this week. If you're not familiar, Wizard Small has done a ton of different super small pixel derivatives of different pieces of art. They're really fun. I know there's a lot of wizards that have gotten him to do some things for them. He basically takes our 50 by 50 pixel warriors or wizards, and I don't know how small they are, but they're very, very tiny, and they're all very adorable. So he has created a collection called Forgotten Smoles, which is the entire Souls collection has been recreated trait by trait, and anyone who has a soul can actually get onto the claim site and mint for free. Maybe don't do it right now because gas is absurd on Ethereum at the moment. But so that, well, actually, he's up here. Why don't with Small? Why don't you hop up and tell us more about what's going on, because it's yours.
Small, hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a small version of the Forgotten Souls collection. It kind of came from me really loving Forgotten Runes and wanting to contribute something to the community and the project and everything. And I had people reach out to me for small versions of their wizards and warriors and souls. And then other people wanted me to mint them for them, and I just thought it'd be a really fun idea to recreate the entire collection, and that way everybody can claim one. So yeah, that's kind of a little rundown of it.
Love it.
Cool. So yeah, that was all set up. I think he was saying Waz had helped him with it, but it's really cool. I haven't got to mint mine yet. I was on the road and my stuff's in a vault, so I need to get my keys out. I think they might be looking into some delegate or potentially warm wallet kind of delegation stuff, but I'll keep you all tuned to that. In other news, the Cumber Dome beta has closed. It is now no longer you can no longer get in and have the bratwurst bashing that we've been doing for the last several weeks. But that will be closed for just 2 or 3 weeks while final touches are put on, and then it'll be open again for everybody to participate in its full glory. So I'll be sure to keep you all updated on when that's going to start again. And then we already touched on it, but the other thing that was on my radar, Quantum Lights should be minting sometime pretty soon. I know the goal was to try to get it out sometime by the end of this month, so it may be just a few days after, it seems like. But they're collecting shadow holders wallets through that alpha bot. You can find links both in the Quantum Lights Discord server and in our own Shadows channel. I know it's been shared there as well. So be sure that you sign up for that. I think it is just maybe a 48 hours, and all shadow holders will get a free claim, but it's not airdrop. So you do have to get in and actually put in your information and do that. So definitely make sure to take action. And that's the Tad wrap up for this week. I think that's all I've got going on.
Amazing. Thank you, Tad.
Where's my applause? Who's on the soundboard? Come on.
Oh man, the soundboard is so loud for me. It kills me every time.
Okay, sorry. I love the soundboard, and every time I use it, you say the same thing, but it doesn't sound loud to me at all. So I want to get to the bottom of this right now. Is it loud for everybody, or is it just Dotta?
I think it's properly mixed for me.
Yeah, it sounds totally fine to me too.
Yeah,
sounds like a skill issue.
I'd be fine if I never heard the soundboard again. So we have a question from Cosmic Nightjar. She says, which of the co-founders do you think would win the Hot Ones Hot Sauce Challenge?
I know the answer to
wow,
this one. I know it really well too. What do you mean it's a very big question? You win with flying colors. I've seen you eat Popeyes.
Oh, dude, I'll take down. But Popeyes isn't even spicy. I tell you, now that I'm every day that I get older, my spice tolerance is getting worse.
Oh, I might have that incorrectly here.
It's not good. I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty aggressive with wanting to win, but I'm not sure if I could win anymore.
Well, I am experiencing the same thing, Bear, as I get older. But since you are the oldest, I think we could assume you would lose this contest.
I'm the oldest, but I'm the strongest.
I feel like I don't want it enough, right? Like, okay, so like, let's say that I go, I'm just trying to pick an example. This week I got Indian food and I ordered it spicy, right? I'm like, give it to me as spicy as you would make it, like on spicy. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But like, I would never try like, I don't know, the one chip challenge or something, or like when they start like using like Schofield units or whatever it's called to like rank how hot it is. I'm done. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to get the hiccups, you know?
So I think I would win then. I think that answers it because I won it and I'm younger. So here's your answer.
Okay.
Let's get back to arm wrestling.
I can't wait, Bear. I really can't wait.
Get on a freaking plane to Denver. Let's go.
I've been hitting the gym, bro. I'm ready for the rematch.
Can I wash my underwear on your hard abs?
Yeah, sure.
Nard is up here. I want to hear about 404 soda.
Wait, you don't want to keep talking about Bear washing his underwear on my abs?
I thought that was because of the hot sauce challenge. That's why his underwear needs washed, right? Because the hot sauce challenge.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Nard, tell us about the hottest dog coin on the market right now.
Yeah, how many Scoville?
Yeah, that was an amazing segue there. Yeah, so GM everyone. Nard here. I'm with Soda. He was right beside me, but I don't know if you guys saw. Myself and a couple wizards, Bill Gaines and Pleasures, we are launching a Soda token. So thank you. Really, honestly, like this project and this experience is like I'm coming at it as it's the culmination of just the 3 years that I've had in this NFT space. Wizards were the first NFT that I ever minted. I still have the one that I minted.
I only minted one also, and I thought that like $270 was an absurd price for that at the time. But look at me now. I am just collaborating with some wizards and trying to bring Soda to the blockchain and spread his love and his floof with everyone that will mint him. So
Did I just hear Soda in the background bark? I swear I heard it.
yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, he likes this message. So yeah, I'm just super excited, and we trying out this new token, a 404 token. And so basically how it works is like you can, if you have one Soda token, then you have the NFT, but then you can also buy and sell fractional parts of it. So you can have like 0.5 Soda, then you won't have the NFT. And so it should be a pretty fun experiment. There's 300 unique Soda photos of Soda, ranging from memes or just pictures that I've taken from my phone or had friends with nicer cameras take. And there's some different rarity among the collection, so it'll be pretty fun seeing just seeing his face flying around and being traded like that. So
Nard, it's super fun. I've always thought of Soda as kind of an unofficial mascot of Forgotten Runes. That dog has been in the cult like since day one. And as you're describing this token, all I can think of is this new paradigm of money. That's what I'm hearing.
Wow, that's yeah. I mean, I'll tell Soda that, and I'm sure he'll be very excited to hear that.
I know that Jitsi was really impressed with the website that you built.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, it's from the mind of Cheddar Bob, of course, and brought to life by Pleasures. So
that makes sense.
A couple of Easter eggs in there too.
Is MySpace Tom a VC investor? Is that part of the inspiration?
Well, he's a friend, one of Soda's top 8 friends. So
okay.
Anyways, we're minting hopefully tomorrow. And if you have not given me a wallet yet for the allow list, there is, I think, a thread or a forum down in the wizard chat. Just put your wallet ID there. It'll be launching on Blast, and yeah, it should be fun.
Nard, share it one more time in the secret tower because I cannot find it.
All right, no problem.
Sweet.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for this. It's a long time coming, and yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that we can get even people from outside the cult to enjoy Soda's floof. So that's going to be just incredible. I'm really fun to see this happening. And I hope everyone stays safe because launching a token is no joke. Jeez. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask dumb noob question. This is an Ethereum wallet, correct?
Yeah, it'll be on Blast, so you can use any wallet. But I mean, if you want to use a burner, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, it's on Blast?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Okay, great, good.
Okay, but I can still give an ETH wallet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I just put mine in there. Thanks, Nard. Soda to the moon. Okay, we're almost out of time. Anything else besides the Chronicle?
Nope.
Well,
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. People asking about lore points. We're rebranding, reorganizing, simplifying. It's going to be great. You're just going to have to wait. But let's talk about the Cult Content Chronicle.
Compiled by
the illustrious
Tanya Del Rio.
Week 58.
Oh my God! Every damn week.
Every damn week. Except for last week when I forgot to read it on Wizard Wednesday. I mean, Tanya still made it. I just forgot to do it. I was so annoyed with myself.
I was annoyed too. Just kidding.
Okay, OPSC. All right. So, All right, starting off, and we talked about this, but yeah, just to reiterate, Wizard Small launched a free claim called Forgotten Smoles, and damn, they look cute, especially that little Nosferatu, looking fine. Speaking of looking fine, Marco Fine. Marco Fine is attempting to get his first wizard and is planning to raise funds using an epic piece. So yeah, let's help him out when he mints. I know that I am gonna mint this thing because I remember when I first saw this. It's one of my favorite pieces of cult content ever. Dotta and Bear, you guys are in it as well.
Yeah, I didn't realize Marco Fine didn't have a wizard.
You know, to be honest, I didn't either, but
I
he
did.
did.
I
fixed,
definitely
yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah, that needs fixed.
Yeah, so let's all fix it. Feckless Mage shared a mysterious design and a famous phrase. Hold on, I'm trying to read this phrase, but it's in a circle. You're gonna act like
It says, if you're going to act like that.
Oh, if you're gonna act like that, I won't tell you about my fucking wizard stuff.
Oh, Sammy Kitty, R.I.P. Come back to
Sammy
us.
Kitty, where are you at, girl?
Come
Damn.
back.
Come back, please.
Okay, now we have two goals: get Markifine a wizard, get Sammy Kitty back. But yeah, well done, Feckless Mage. That is a very famous phrase that used to give us tons of laughs. Okay, the illustrious Tanya Del Rio shared some of her own artwork this week of Enchanter Carly of the River and her giant scary wolf. Enchanter Carly is a member of the notorious Canis Coven. Speaking of notorious, Magus Devon shared a new commission of his iconic whiz, this time by the talented Hexen CCM. Matto, you are probably the wizard who has commissioned the most pieces of artwork for your wizard. I would say you probably hold the record for that.
Yeah, probably true.
Okay, and then we talked about this earlier, but yeah, go register for your free ordinal light drop. There is still no definitive answer on whether holding a light and a shadow in the same wallet will destroy each of them. There's no definitive answer. Okay, Corn Smut shared a really fun derivative of their imp made by September Art. You know, I thought that kobolds were the only characters that there was no solid design for, but now I guess imps are as well.
I like this alligator interpretation. That's kind of fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, I love this style. Really cool.
Yep, and that little owl on there is cute too. Okay, DA0X Lab shared a really fun. They got a new PFP, and it's one of their shadows. I think it looks like a soul character, like a specter with a bunch of shadows around it. But yeah, super cool. And then DAO OX Lab also shared another a fun. It looks like an AI generated piece of their soul, or a cyber skull wizard. Danielle Illustra gave us a peek of her sketchbook for more upcoming illustrations of Sharon's warrior. Sharon has such a nice warrior. And Sharon is also on a really fun vacation. She's been sending me vacation photos. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that in public, but if you guys want to see some super cute vacation photos, DM Sharon. Mage Wild shared, oh, this is a great crossover. Waluigi mixed with Nosferatu. Waluigi is one of the weirdest characters in all of the Super Mario universe. So mixing them with Nosferatu is well played. Okay, Wizstock is coming back, y'all. Wizstock. Woodstock 2024. It happened in 2022. I guess they skipped 2023, but it's back in 2024. Acid, do you want to tell us anything about Woodstock?
Nothing is definitely planned yet because so far Oz is the only one who's reached out, but I haven't reached out to any of the artists who were in it the first time, which I've been meaning to. So J-Mander, if you're listening to this, Dr. Slurp, if you're listening to this, any other musicians in the cult, if you're listening to this, if you're interested in like a digital live stream, we did it over 3 days in 2022. 2023 we were really busy with like farm animals and business and stuff, and so then this year we're a little more balanced with our work and personal life and stuff, so we're hoping to bring it back if there's enough interest. If it's just like me and Oz doing it, that's probably going to be kind of boring. So if any musicians want to do it and throw a little festival, that would be a lot of fun. Reach out to me or Bill Gaines about it.
I love it, Acid. For the next few Wizard Wednesdays, I'm going to keep bringing it up. Let's make Wizstock 2024 a thing.
Sweet.
I don't know, Acid. Maybe we can throw it in like Nifty Island or something else. Like have like a 3D component to it. I don't know.
Oh, that would be really cool, because that was like what we wanted to do with the Baby Wizards project, was have we had NFT worlds, and we wanted to do like live events and stuff in there with the Baby Wizards, or questing, or some kind of like in-game kind of thing. So Nifty Island might be a new platform that would be fun for that.
Right. NFT Worlds is good too. Or yeah, maybe it's in all of them. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's awesome though.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, Bill Gaines. Bear, this one's for you. Bill Gaines is sick of all these MF and Bearsnakes on this MF and plane. Bear, what do you say to that?
Well, I answered this question publicly on Twitter. Me and Samuel L. actually sort of put our differences aside, and now we actually travel the globe. The reason I was actually late was because I just got off of a plane with him, and there were snakes because I was there. So yeah, no, it's we're good. We're good. There's snakes on the plane, and he's fine with it.
Why was he so sick of you in the first place? I don't get it.
He had a thing with snakes, and listen, I just curled up next to him, and we talked it out, and he's cool. He just faced his fears.
Did you whiz pill him?
He's definitely been whiz pilled. I don't think he kind of glazed over when I started talking about creating a wallet and a seed phrase, but he's with us in spirit.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay, and then of course Nard Soda 404 is launching. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun. Jitsi, I really like your new Chad Kobold.
Oh, that's wait, is my mic working? Can you hear me?
That's me. That's me.
Tad, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, I think Feckless made it, right, Tad? And then I saw it, and then Snap posted it, and Brandy stole someone's thunder, but when I can't help myself, but it's definitely Tad, not me.
I immediately click and saved it to my favorites folder.
Same.
I don't know why, but I just really love the way that it looks. It's kind of like Semi Supers meets Archer, and just, I don't know, the stupid kobold round head with the really bold chin. I don't know, it just something like hilariously doofy about that face. I really like it.
Oh, it's so good. It made me smile from ear to ear.
It's hilarious. This reminds me, Castamere made me a really fun version of my goat that I need to share very soon, which I will. Okay, was the infamous Magus Wazir, the one who rings, shared. I'm going to call it like a Runeverse Matrix crossover piece. Speaking of whiz pilling, that's what we're looking at. Once you're whiz pilled, there's no turning back, so be careful. Mala shared a really great piece of AI soul art. What I really like about this one is it's got the thylacine in it, the Tasmanian wolf. I don't see a lot of Tasmanian Runeverse cult content. This might be the first one I've seen. But beautiful piece. Entropy put his wizard on a cat. I mean,
Oh,
that's
I
what
love this. I love this.
you would, Bear.
I'm a cat guy.
You really are. No, but it's super cute. It's super cute. Meeple Dad continues to share riddles. Man, this says day 58. Meeple, really, like, it's been 58 riddles so far? That's amazing. Well done. And then Magic Monday News, episode 46, live from the Obsidian Tower. The special guest was Tanya Del Rio, and treat of the week was Goblin Milk. Somebody put a fun quiz about Goblin Milk. I don't remember who put it there, but they were asking where Goblin Milk comes from. Bear, where do you think Goblin Milk comes from?
I'm not allowed to say that out loud.
Oh, come on, Bear.
No, all my answers are not they're not rated G.
Okay, Dotta, where does Goblin Milk come from?
Why do you think my answer is going to be rated G?
I wasn't expecting
give me
either of your answers to be G or otherwise. I just want to know where it comes from.
I know I do have an answer. I think it comes from goblin cats.
Okay.
Goblin cats, you can actually milk goblin cats.
Interesting.
You can't milk normal cats. I mean, you could, but
Okay.
yeah, goblin cats, milk them.
Yeah, that's
Well, the little goblin fingers really work so well on the cats. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get into trouble. I'm gonna shut up.
I still don't understand where the controversy is, but okay. Dotta, do you have an answer to this?
I think that Goblin Milk comes from Moron Global.
Okay.
All right.
Does anyone else up here have an answer? Okay, I'm just gonna say it comes from Goblin Mommies. What's so crazy about that?
No, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Okay. And then finally, be sure to vote for 2 community projects by Fabula XR and Brennan.eth. One of them is a tabletop board game, and then one of them is a full D&D campaign. Yeah, I remember Brennan showed us this board game. Super cool. I can't believe he's making just like a full tabletop game. It's incredible. But yeah, those are up for a vote right now. Oz, you came up here and I didn't give you a minute to speak. Did you want to say anything before we go?
Hey, Elf. No, I just wanted to touch some topics concerning the lore, creativity, canon stuff.
Sure.
It's just a quick overview. It's like I've been talking a lot about this with O, and it's like in my point of view, like we have these Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. They have these main storylines, and then you have the spin-offs. The way I see like the Runeverse, we don't have this official storylines, but we can have the spin-offs. So I'm sort of call it like spin-ins, because there are stories that are not attached to some existing stories, but they can be attached in the future. But for this to happen, people have to write the stories. So I hope like this helps to, encourage people to write their stuff and not wait for something,
Yeah, Oz, it's a really interesting point, and I could talk about this for 30 more minutes, but it's interesting because it's just like, yeah, we didn't start out with like a big film or a big novel. That's how pretty much every other franchise in the past started, was like there was a central author, a central creator to put out this big novel or film or whatever, and then there were spin-offs. And we didn't start with really a central creator. We started with a community that creates, and so we're doing the whole thing in reverse. And I think that's what's fun about it. I think these like big central stories will come in time. The comic is one, the show is one, but it's just NFTs and decentralized IP is just a brand new thing. And so to me, it kind of makes sense to start in reverse. Start with the fan art, start with the so-called spin-offs, start with the creation of 5,000 people, and then, go from there. It's a really weird thing, but yeah, I totally hear you, Oz. Okay. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
Bear, Jitsi?
Yeah, no, I feel like I came in halfway through this. My brain's in deal mode right now, so I apologize to the cult that I'm not fully immersed in this conversation, but
Go close some deals, Bear.
I gotta get off the phone.
Right. Jitsi?
I got nothing. I'm good.
All right. Okay. In that case, this has been Elf, Dotta, Bearsnake, Jitsi, Oz, Tad Major, Acid, Wizard Small, and all of the wizards of the Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult, building a world together, channeling out from the Quantum Down.